Team USA's roster for the World Baseball Classic might be the most stacked any country's roster has ever been in the history of the competition. There is one member of that roster that was born and molded for a stage such as this, and baseball fans around the globe have been familiar with him for a very long time. And his name is Bryce Harper. The showman is returning to the international stage for the first time since he was 17 years old, when he represented the United States as a member of the 18U team that won a gold medal at the Pan Am Junior World Championships back in 2009. Harper was already on the cover of Sports Illustrated by the time that team traveled deep into hostile territory, where he was given the moniker of the Chosen One, and he's done nothing but live up to that reputation since. Back then, the pressure that came with that notoriety was something he felt day in and day out. Quote, "I had more pressure on myself when I was younger at those types of things than I do now." That's what Harper told The Athletic back in 2019 after he signed his 13-year, $330 million deal in Philadelphia. Nowadays, Bryce doesn't believe that pressure's followed him. He likes to view the game as fun again. The pressure was being the breadwinner for a family, living up to those labels, staying out of the factory. Everything else, that's gravy. He was not yet a professional in the first two instances of the WBC. Then Harper declined to participate in the 2013 edition despite being invited after winning Rookie of the Year the season prior. He wanted to experience a normal spring training with his big league club, and that's understandable. But he was hopeful he would play in the next iteration. But in 2017's tournament, however, his agent released a statement noting that Harper would not participate. This came directly after a down season, at least when compared to his high standard of excellence, of course. 2020's tournament was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and Bryce was more than ready to return to the top of the international stage when manager Mark DeRosa began recruitment for the 2023 roster. Harper was that team's biggest recruiter and presumed captain, but Tommy John's surgery cut his hopes of representing the country short once again, after a season hampered by nagging injuries and an uncharacteristic chase rate that led to questions from all corners of the game, including from his own club's front office, about whether Bryce is still the elite player he was destined to be since he was a teen. Whether he says it or not, Harper has something to prove this year. Not to Dave Dombrowski, not to the fans, but this time to himself. No longer the captain, no longer the face of baseball in the United States, Harper is ready to show that his prime has not yet passed him by. He doesn't need external motivation. Just ask him. He'll tell you questions about his elite status don't motivate him, but he has used external motivation to his benefit before. As a rookie, Phillies pitcher Cole Hamels plunked him with a pitch as a way to say, "Hey, welcome to the big leagues, kid." And just ask Orlando Arcia if he'll ever recover from the gaping hole that Bryce stared through him as he rounded the bases in Game 3 of the 2023 NLDS, the game in which he drove 2 balls into the outfield seats just the day after Arcia was caught saying, "Attaboy, Harper," in his team's clubhouse after Bryce made the final out in a loss in Game 2. It's who Bryce is. It's who he's always been. A man born with an edge, reserved for the elite of the elite. The creme de la creme. His Team USA teammates know the former phenom turned superstar is still that guy, and they don't need any new evidence to feel that way. His Phillies teammate Kyle Schwarber has repeatedly spoken about how impressed he is by Bryce Harper on a regular basis, and the captain of the U.S. squad and New York Yankees, Aaron Judge, even said he received advice from Bryce before the playoffs a few years back. The message from his potential World Series foe? It was simple. Own the moment. Don't let it own you. Harper has done that time and time again throughout his career. In a game of failure, to come up in the big moments when a normal human would crumble under the pressure is incredible. Bryce has continually risen to that occasion. He's done it so many times, fans often can't believe it. And every so often, like back in the final game of the 2022 NLCS, he shocks himself. The swing of his life, as broadcaster Joe Davis phrased it. Didn't surprise anyone in the Phillies dugout, except Bryce Harper himself. A moment that only happens in your wildest dreams. The only way one could fathom experiencing something like that is taking a phantom swing in the backyard and making the moment yourself appear. But for Harper, feigned crowd noise was replaced with real roars and eruptions down in South Philadelphia. Now, he hopes to ignite a crowd looking beyond one team, beyond one city. Bryce Harper wants to ignite the country, maybe even the world. He's grown from the cocky young player he first showed up as in the major leagues. Bryce is now a husband, a father. He's a silent leader who shows what it takes to be great by example via his dedication to honing his craft. He built himself on top of expectations and drove himself to greatness. With little left to prove in MLB, he looks to remind both players and fans alike that he is still that teenage kid filled with hope who's never felt buried by the weight of expectations. He has plenty of moments left in that 33-year-old body. Phillies fans hope they see the version of Harper that won an MVP with their team back in 2021 in this upcoming season. The version that plays with his hair on fire and an energy and brashness reserved for the exclusive elite club that is earned over an extended period. They hope a strong showing in the WBC will catapult him to another great season in red pinstripes. But he has a big challenge in front of him, a challenge he hasn't experienced or faced in 15 years. A chance to perform on the biggest stage that international baseball has to offer. A chance to show gratitude for the ability and availability to perform in those moments. An opportunity to don USA across his chest while showing everyone why the hat says US, not USA. Because this year's team, they're, quote, doing it for us. One thing is for certain, Harper is focused and ready to perform on a stage that has eluded him since he was a teenager. He knows his 2025 season wasn't as great as it could have been, but he has a plan to get back to matching his own elite expectations. For Phillies fans' sake, he has a memorable WBC that carries over to what feels like a pivotal season for the baseball club that represents the city of Philadelphia. Thank you for tuning in. Comment your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out the Metro Philly Sports Network team here on YouTube.